In my never-ending quest to find interesting ways to build and create camera tools, rotating camera platforms caught my eye recently. They offer a unique way to capture people and products, and I went ahead and completely turned this idea upside down. This is how I created my very own custom-built, speed-controlled spinning camera rig. The other day I had this idea that I wanted to build a rotating 360-degree camera rig. So I decided to build this like weird gimbal-like thing with a C-stand and like a steel pipe, and I'll throw up some footage here. It worked, but it wasn't like super stable, and it like was kind of wobbly and it was hard to balance. And so I thought like, maybe I can find something commercially that kind of does the same thing. But one thing that I wanted to avoid was having to use like a C-stand or something, and I found like almost the exact same thing from Glide Gear, and it was $200. And what really intrigued me about it was that it had a baby pin connector on it. That's how it connects to the base. So what I thought I could do, and I couldn't find any videos about it, but I thought that I could mount the Glide Gear from the ceiling with a baby pin, and then like put it out as far as it would go, and then I'd have this like wide 360 space. And so yeah, this video is kind of trying to figure out if that's like a viable solution, because I couldn't see anybody else who had done it. So let's try it out. Okay, so here is just a super clamp with like an attachment here, and here's the base for the rotating rig, and looks like it fits pretty well. And if we put these through, I mean, this is just an example, but that looks pretty good so far. And I also ordered this thing. It's like a baby pin extension arm, because this is, I think, a little too high for most use cases for me, especially if I have a camera slinging around on it. But I mean, like, yeah, I wonder if I put some weight on it, how that would do. But yeah, it's like very sturdy. Okay, so this is a Matthews baby pin extender, and so we're gonna pop this into here, and its lowest, like the lowest I can get from the ceiling is 16 inches, but I also have probably like another 4-inch here for it to connect to, so that's like kind of low. But here I have a lot of room to work with. I can put a desk, I can put whatever. Don't mind this thing. This is just like to tell you where center is beneath it. This is probably how I'll use it. But as you can see, there is immediately some wobble there. And so when you get it started like that, it stops moving pretty quick. But just that first few seconds, there's a little bit of shake to it. So I'm not even going to test it. I'm just going to imagine that that's going to cause a problem. So, whoa, very bright. So what do we do to fix a problem like this? We motorize it. We're going to add a motor to it. So even though this is a simple mechanism, I still like to start off by prototyping my Arduinos. Here we have a potentiometer that's wired to speed, which will set the amount of steps that get sent to the stepper motor. As you can see here, it looks like it worked. And then I switched over to soldering everything down. I like to use female pins so that if something breaks, I can take it out without having to rewire the entire circuit. The code for this is really simple. It basically just consists of setting your pins, and then mapping the potentiometer to the stepper motor. I'll leave a link to the specific code for this in the description below. I went ahead and designed my own project box for this. This was the first thing that I've ever designed myself in Fusion 360, and I went ahead and 3D printed it. It wasn't perfect, and I ended up having to poke some other holes in it for some spots I was missing. Okay, so long story short, I had a defective potentiometer and I had to order a new one, and it took about 6 months for a bag of them to get here. But here we are, and here is the final project box. On this side, this is where you put the power in. On the top here, you have your motor and the potentiometer to control the speed. On the bottom, there's a mounting plate, and that's about it. It's not too exciting. Here is a removable base plate. On this side, there's a lip, so it kind of sticks in there pretty good. And then over here, all the electronics are kind of jammed in there, snug, and yeah, this is what it's made up of. So basically, to set this thing up, you need to add a timing belt to the center column. You attach that timing belt to the project box around the pulley. You make it nice and tight. I used some electrical tape and a popsicle stick to maintain pressure. And once it's all tied down, you plug the battery in and you switch it on and it'll start spinning. When you spin the potentiometer, it goes faster, and as you can see, a wobble here is because it's not balanced, but this was just a test. Overall, I'm really happy with this project. For $200, I now have another tool in my studio to help me create unique shots. Would you use something like this? Let me know in the comments below.